Welcome. Is eating yellow egg yolk healthy? If you toss out your egg yolks, you're also tossing out some of the most nutritious parts of the egg. The yolk is arguably the healthiest part of the egg and should be consumed lightly cooked. The cholesterol in egg yolks is not associated with high blood cholesterol levels or heart disease. As food, the chicken egg yolk is a major source of vitamins and minerals. It contains all of the egg's fat and cholesterol, and nearly half of the protein. If left intact when an egg is fried, the yellow yolk surrounded by a flat blob of egg white creates a distinctive sunny side-up form. Mixing the two components together before cooking results in a pale yellow mass, as in omelets and scrambled eggs. Yolks hold more than 90% of the calcium, iron, phosphorus, zinc, thiamine, vitamin B6, folate, vitamin B12, and pantothenic acid of the egg. In addition, yolks cover all of the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K in the egg, as well as all of the essential fatty acids. A single yolk from a large egg contains roughly 22 milligrams of calcium, 66 milligrams of phosphorus, 9.5 micrograms of selenium, and 19 milligrams of potassium. According to the USDA, in 1973, the American Heart Association began urging Americans to cut down on egg consumption as a means of protecting against heart disease. We now know that the cholesterol in egg yolks doesn't have much influence on serum cholesterol levels and by extension the risk of heart disease. As long ago as 1999, a study from the Harvard School of Public Health published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found no increased risk of coronary heart disease or stroke among healthy men and women who ate as many as 7 eggs per week, compared to those who ate fewer than 1 per week. The yolk makes up about 33% of the liquid weight of the egg. It contains about 60 kilocalories, 3 times the energy content of the egg white, mostly due to its fat content. All of the fat-soluble vitamins are found in the egg yolk. Egg yolk is one of the few foods naturally containing vitamin D. Among animals which produce eggs, the yolk is the nutrient-bearing portion of the egg whose primary function is to supply food for the development of the embryo. Some types of egg contain no yolk, for example, because they are laid in situations where the food supply is sufficient or because the embryo develops in the parent's body, which supplies the food, usually through a placenta. Reproductive systems in which the mother's body supplies the embryo directly are said to be matrotrophic. Those in which the embryo is supplied by yolk are said to be lesotrophic. In many species, such as all birds, and most reptiles and insects, the yolk takes the form of a special storage organ constructed in the reproductive tract of the mother. In many other animals, especially very small species such as some fishes and invertebrates, the yolk material is not in a special organ, but inside the egg cell. As stored food, yolks are often rich in vitamins, minerals, lipids, and proteins. The proteins function partly as food in their own right, and partly in regulating the storage and supply of the other nutrients. For example, in some species the amount of yolk in an egg cell affects the developmental processes that follow fertilization. The yolk is not living cell material like protoplasm, but largely passive material, that is to say cytoplasm. The food material and associated control structures are supplied during oogenesis. Some of the material is stored more or less in the form in which the maternal body supplied it, partly as processed by dedicated non-germ tissues in the egg, while part of the biosynthetic processing into its final form happens in the oocyte itself. Apart from animals, other organisms, like algae, especially in the oogamous, can also accumulate resources in their female gametes. In gymnosperms, the remains of the female gametophyte serve also as food supply, and in flowering plants, the endosperm. The color of an egg yolk is directly influenced by the makeup of the chicken feed. Egg yolk color is generally more yellow when given a feed containing a large component of yellow, fat-soluble pigments, such as the carotenes in dark green plant material. For example, alfalfa. Although much emphasis is put onto the color of the egg yolk, it does not reliably reflect the nutritional value of an egg. For example, some of the natural pigments that produce a rich yolk color are xanthophylls without much nutritional value, rather than the carotenoids that act as provitamin A in the body. Also, a diet rich in vitamin A itself, but without A provitamins or xanthophylls, can produce practically colorless yolks that are just as nutritious as any richly colored yolks. Yolks, particularly from free-range eggs, can be of a wide range of colors, ranging from nearly white through yellow and orange to practically red or even olive green, depending on the pigments in their feed. Feeding fowl large amounts of capsicum peppers, for example, tends to result in red or deep orange yolks. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.